Hi everyone and welcome to this video. It's Steffi and today I wanted to talk to you a little bit about an aspect of human design that I have found to be very helpful in terms of providing a framework in our healing work, and it's something that I have been using a lot with myself and with my clients. So if you haven't got your human design chart already, you can visit the link below this video and generate it so that you have it by your side. And when you have it in front of you, or you might already know, you can have a look at which centers of your chart are white. So you can have a look at which areas are not basically colored in. So in human design, the colored in areas are the areas where we have consistent access to, and it's basically what we are here to express and to bring forward to the world. And the white centers are the areas that we don't have consistent access to energy, and it's the places where we are more receptive to the energies around us. So if you have a look at your white centers, so in human design they're also called open when they have no gates, so it's fully white, no numbers colored in, or undefined when they are white but they still have some activations through the colored in numbers, which are the gates. So as mentioned before, these are the areas that we are more receptive to the energies around us, and each of these centers has a different function. And basically, because of this openness that we have in these areas, we are more susceptible to conditioning. Conditioning meaning that we are more likely to mistake the energy that we pick up from these open areas to mistake it for our own, and therefore act from these places as if this is who we are, while in reality we have picked up this energy from the people around us. And especially when we were children and we were growing up, the more we were around the same energies from other people, the stronger the conditioning in some situations will be. So basically what can happen with this openness is that we might identify with these energies as them being our own, and then that can take us further away from ourselves, as that way we usually ignore our true selves and our innate energies. So let's see how, for example, this can play out. If, let's say, someone has their solar plexus center open or undefined, and that is the emotional center in human design, that means that they are a very empathetic person, and it means that they, whenever they are around other people, and especially when these other people are going through an emotional situation and experience, the person with the white solar plexus might start feeling the same emotions as that person, because they are taking them in because of their receptivity. So then the person that receives all that emotion might believe that it's coming from them, while in reality it is coming from that other person. So what happens in these cases, with the center being open or undefined, that person might, because of the constant experience of feeling intensely emotions when other people around them are feeling so, they might develop this defense mechanism of avoiding the confrontation of specific situations with others. So they might do that so that they avoid feeling whatever it is that they're feeling at the time, which is usually picked up from the environment. And what that leads to is that it leads the person away from their truth, because basically they are avoiding their own truth so that they don't feel the strong, let's say, emotional waves that are around them. So then that person might actually go past themselves and past what they really want, acting out from that open center instead of their own unique decision making and their own unique energy, which would lead them to what is better for them, essentially. And what happens usually with the open emotional center is that we have picked up a lot of emotions from our environment growing up, and then we hold on to them as if they're ours, and therefore we constantly carry them within us for years and years and years, believing that they're ours, while in reality we had picked them up from others and we are storing them in our bodies for so long. So basically these emotions just need to be released and let go, so we connect back to who we are in our own unique energy. Another example of this would be, let's say, if someone has their splenic center open or undefined, where they could be holding on to things that aren't good for them, as they might be feeling other people's fears, or they might be chasing a feeling of safety when they are around specific people. So in order to avoid feeling maybe the fears, or in order to avoid feeling insecure, they might be holding on to people and situations that bring them a feeling of safety, but also on the other hand it might be preventing them from going for experiences that would be fulfilling for them and they would contribute to their growth, but then they kind of feel stuck staying in the same place with the same people and the same situations because of this chasing of this safe feeling, while in reality they're just missing out on opportunities that could be good for them. Another example is, let's say if someone has their ego open or undefined, where they could be feeling a pressure to prove themselves and to prove their worth, and that could lead them to keep doing things just to prove that they can do it, instead of actually doing something for their own fulfillment because they really enjoy doing that. So they can really get caught up into this endless game of constantly trying to prove, while in reality they are here to become wise about self-worth, and they're not here to prove anything. And so all these open centers essentially give us the opportunity to receive a spectrum of different varieties of energies in that center's themes, and we are here to become essentially wise in these areas. So for example, as we mentioned before about the open emotional center, if someone has that open, it means that they will be receiving so many different emotions that then they get to know all things about emotions and how they work because of their variety of experiences. So afterwards they can really become wise in the subject of emotions, and they can help other people with their emotions, and they can learn how to, for example, not absorb everything in as if it's theirs, but rather to reflect back the emotional energy, so that there is more understanding and depth out of this reflection. And so yeah, the way this can help us as like an awareness is that it can give us this map that can really show us the areas that that we are more let's say likely to get away from ourselves, because then we can see the themes of these centers that we have open, and then notice how this plays out in our lives and start noticing it. And the more we notice the themes, the more our awareness increases, and then we can be more observant of what is happening, instead of becoming one with it and believing this is who we are. And that means that way we can more easily bring ourselves back to our own definition, i.e. our colored in centers, and especially our unique authority, which is where we make decisions from in human design according to what is right for us. That can help us to return back to ourselves again and again and make more aligned decisions and flow more with life, but also enhance our learnings and our wisdom that does come out of these open centers. So if you have any questions or any comments, feel free to leave them down below, or let me know which centers you have undefined in your chart. And if you would like to further connect with me, you can check the link in the description box, where you can see how you can book a session with me, or you can even order a human design PDF analysis of your own chart, in which basically we go through everything that there is to know about your unique energetic blueprint, so that you can have this as a guide on your healing journey. So that would be it for this video. Thank you for watching. Have a nice day.